Fabrizio Romano reveals exact fee Man United must pay for Conor Gallagher. Hey everyone, welcome back to United Daily Updates. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button because this is your trusted source for all the latest Manchester United transfer news and updates. We bring you accurate information, honest analysis, and everything you need to know about what is happening at Old Trafford. Today we have some breaking news from Fabrizio Romano about a potential January signing, and this one is really interesting. Christmas Day transfer bombshell. While most of us were enjoying Christmas dinner with family, Fabrizio Romano was hard at work dropping transfer news. On his YouTube channel on Christmas Day, Romano revealed some crucial information about Manchester United's pursuit of Atletico Madrid midfielder Conor Gallagher. And trust me, this is news that every United fan needs to hear. Romano has told us exactly how much United would need to pay to sign Gallagher. He has also explained whether a loan deal is possible or if United would need to buy him permanently. This is the kind of inside information that helps us understand what might actually happen in the January transfer window. So let me break down everything Romano said, explain what it means for United, and give you my honest opinion on whether this deal makes sense for the club. Grab a drink, get comfortable, and let us dive into this story. Who is Conor Gallagher and why does United want him? Before we get into the transfer details, let me give you some background on Conor Gallagher for those who might not know him that well. Gallagher is a 25-year-old English midfielder who spent most of his career at Chelsea before moving to Atletico Madrid in the summer. At Chelsea, Gallagher was known for his incredible work rate and energy. He is the type of midfielder who covers every blade of grass during a match. He presses opponents, wins the ball back, makes runs into the box, and gives absolutely everything for the team. In 95 appearances for Chelsea, he scored 10 goals and provided 10 assists. Those are solid numbers for a box-to-box midfielder. Gallagher is also an England international. He has represented his country at senior level and is hoping to be part of the England squad for the 2026 World Cup finals next summer. But to do that, he needs to be playing regular first-team football, which brings us to his current situation at Atletico Madrid. Since joining Atletico in the summer, things have not gone as planned for Gallagher. He has only managed 4 starts in La Liga so far this season. That is nowhere near enough game time for a player of his quality and ambition. He is sitting on the bench more often than playing, and for someone who wants to make the England World Cup squad, that is a big problem. This is why United are interested. Gallagher wants to leave Atletico to get more playing time. United need midfield reinforcements. It seems like a perfect match, right? Well, let me tell you what the situation really is. What did Fabrizio Romano actually say? Let me give you the exact details of what Romano revealed. According to the transfer expert, Atletico Madrid are currently only willing to let Gallagher leave on a permanent transfer. They do not want to loan him out. And the price they are asking is €30 million, which works out to about £26.2 million. Romano was very clear about this. He said that Atletico Madrid's message as of Christmas Day is permanent transfer or nothing. They are not interested in doing a loan deal where Gallagher goes to United for 6 months and then returns to Spain in the summer. Now, £26 million for Gallagher might actually be a bargain when you think about it. He is only 25 years old, so he has his best years ahead of him. He has Premier League experience, so he would not need time to adapt to English football. He is an England international. And he brings the kind of energy and work rate that every top team needs. But here is the problem. United were hoping to do a loan deal for Gallagher. According to sources, a loan move would appeal to United much more than paying £26 million to buy him permanently in January. Why? Because United are trying to be careful with their spending due to financial fair play rules. Every pound they spend in January is a pound they cannot spend in the summer. Romano also mentioned that United actually tried to sign Gallagher in the final days of the summer transfer window. This was not just random interest. United were seriously working on bringing him to Old Trafford. However, the deal did not happen because Atletico were not willing to let him leave on the terms United wanted. Could Atletico's stance change? Here is where things get interesting. Romano said that while Atletico are insisting on a permanent deal right now, their position could change as we get closer to the end of the January transfer window. Let me explain how this works. At the start of a transfer window, clubs often take a hard stance. They say they will only accept permanent deals or they demand huge fees. But as the deadline gets closer and closer, clubs sometimes soften their position. They realize that getting something is better than getting nothing. In Gallagher's case, if he is sitting on the bench at Atletico all January and making it clear he wants to leave, the Spanish club might eventually accept a loan deal. They might think that loaning him out for 6 months is better than having an unhappy player who is not playing. Romano said that sometimes what starts as a permanent deal requirement can become a loan deal by the end of the window. He has seen this happen many times before. So United fans should not lose hope just yet. There is still a chance that Atletico might agree to loan Gallagher if the right conditions are met. The key phrase Romano used was permanent or nothing as of today. That as of today part is important. It tells us that things could change. Transfer windows are fluid and negotiations can shift quickly. What does Gallagher himself want? According to sources that have spoken to Team Talk, Gallagher himself is ready for a loan exit from Atletico Madrid. He wants to play regularly in the second half of the season. And most importantly, he wants to secure his place in the England squad for the 2026 World Cup finals. Think about it from Gallagher's perspective. He is 25 years old and in the prime of his career. He moved to Atletico Madrid hoping to play regularly in La Liga and the Champions League. But instead, he is spending most games on the bench. That is not what he signed up for. The World Cup is happening next summer. If Gallagher is not playing between now and then, England manager Thomas Tuchel is not going to pick him for the squad. Tuchel will choose midfielders who are playing every week and are in good form. So Gallagher has a big decision to make. Does he stay at Atletico and hope his situation improves? Or does he push for a move in January, even if it is just a loan, to get the playing time he desperately needs? From what we are hearing, Gallagher is leaning towards the second option. He wants to move, and a return to the Premier League with Manchester United would be an attractive option for him. Why United are interested in Gallagher? Let me explain why Manchester United are so interested in signing Conor Gallagher. It all comes down to what manager Ruben Amorim needs in his midfield. Amorim wants midfielders who can cover a lot of ground, press opponents high up the pitch, and contribute in both defense and attack. United also need depth in midfield. Bruno Fernandes is currently injured and could be out for more than a month. Christian Eriksen is 32 and cannot play every game. Mason Mount has struggled with injuries. Kobbie Mainoo is still young and learning. Casemiro has looked slow at times this season. When you look at United's midfield options, it becomes clear why they want to bring in another body. Gallagher would give Amorim another option. Someone who can play in the big games, who understands the Premier League, and who brings experience and leadership. There is also the fact that Gallagher would not need time to adapt. He has played in the Premier League for years. He knows the speed, the physicality, and the demands of English football. He could come in and contribute immediately, which is exactly what United need in January. United's other midfield targets. It is important to mention that Gallagher is not the only midfielder United are looking at. Team Talk has reported that United have a wish list of midfield targets for January. Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace is one of the names. Wharton is a young English midfielder who has been really impressive since moving to the Premier League. He is only 20 years old but plays with maturity beyond his years. However, getting him in January would be very difficult because Crystal Palace are in a relegation battle and will not want to sell their best young player mid-season. Carlos Baleba from Brighton is another target. Baleba is a powerful defensive midfielder who has been excellent for Brighton this season. But again, Brighton never sell their best players in January. They always wait until the summer when they can get maximum value. Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest is also on United's radar. Anderson joined Forest from Newcastle in the summer and has been playing well. But Forest are doing great this season and have no reason to sell. So you can see the problem United face. All their top targets are either too expensive or not available in January. This is why Gallagher becomes such an interesting option. He is available. He wants to leave. And the price is reasonable. The financial aspect. Let me talk about the money side of this deal. Atletico Madrid want £26 million for Gallagher. Is that good value? In my opinion, yes. When you look at what other midfielders cost these days, £26 million is actually quite cheap. Players with far less experience and quality are going for £40 or £50 million. Gallagher is Premier League proven, an England international, and only 25 years old. However, United need to think about their overall budget. They cannot just spend money on every position in January. They also need defenders, possibly a striker, and maybe a winger. If they spend £26 million on Gallagher, that is £26 million they cannot spend on other positions. This is why United were hoping for a loan deal. A loan would allow them to bring Gallagher in without paying a big transfer fee. They could assess him over 6 months and then decide in the summer whether to make the move permanent. It would be much less risky and much more flexible. But Atletico are saying no to a loan right now. They want the money up front. So United have to decide if Gallagher is worth spending £26 million on, knowing that it limits what they can do with other signings. What happened in the summer transfer window? Romano mentioned that United actually tried to sign Gallagher in the final days of the summer transfer window. Let me give you some context on that. It was late August. The transfer window was about to close. United were still looking for midfield reinforcements and Gallagher's name came up. United's co-owners, Ineos, headed by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, were the ones pushing for the deal. United approached Atletico Madrid to ask about a potential transfer. But Atletico were not willing to do business. They had just signed Gallagher from Chelsea and were not interested in selling him immediately. They wanted to give him a proper chance to settle in Spain. So the deal never happened. United moved on to other targets. But clearly, the interest in Gallagher never went away. United have remained in contact with people close to the player, according to sources. They have been monitoring his situation at Atletico. And now that he is not playing regularly, United are thinking about making another move in January. This tells us that United's interest in Gallagher is genuine and long-standing. This is not just a random rumor. United have done their homework on him and believe he would improve the team. Could the deal actually happen? So what are the chances of this deal actually happening? Let me give you my honest assessment. I would say it is 50-50 right now. There are factors working in favor of the deal and factors working against it. In favor of the deal, we have Gallagher wanting to leave Atletico. We have United needing midfield reinforcements. We have a reasonable asking price. And we have the possibility that Atletico might soften their stance on a loan deal as January progresses. Against the deal, we have Atletico insisting on a permanent transfer right now. We have United preferring a loan. We have financial fair play concerns that might limit United spending. And we have competition from other clubs who might also be interested in Gallagher. My gut feeling is that this deal could happen, but probably only if one of two things occurs. Either Atletico agree to a loan deal towards the end of January, or United decide that £26 million is worth paying for a player they really want. I think the most likely scenario is that we will see this drag on until the final days of the January window. There will be negotiations, back and forth discussions, and then either a deal will be agreed or United will move on to other targets. My personal opinion. Let me give you my honest take on whether United should sign Conor Gallagher. I think he would be a good signing for the right price and under the right terms. If United can get him on loan for 6 months, I would say absolutely do it. It would be a no-risk move. Gallagher gets playing time, United get midfield depth, and in the summer everyone can reassess. If it works out, United can negotiate a permanent deal. If it does not work out, he goes back to Atletico. If United have to pay £26 million to buy him permanently, I am more hesitant. Not because Gallagher is not good enough, but because I wonder if that money could be better spent elsewhere. United need defenders more urgently than midfielders in my opinion. Spending £26 million on Gallagher means less money available for a centre-back or full-back. That said, Gallagher does bring qualities that United desperately need. Energy, work rate, Premier League experience, and versatility. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder, as a defensive midfielder, or even in a more advanced role. That flexibility is valuable for any manager. My ideal scenario would be United negotiating a loan with an obligation to buy in the summer for maybe £20 million. That way United get the player now, can see how he performs, and the payment is delayed until the summer when they might have more budget available. What happens next? The January transfer window opens soon and we will see a lot of activity. United have made it clear they want to sign at least one midfielder, and Gallagher is definitely on the list of options. Over the next few weeks, watch for any signs that Atletico Madrid are softening their stance. If Gallagher continues to sit on the bench and makes it clear he wants more playing time, pressure will build on Atletico to find a solution. Also watch for United's other midfield pursuits. If they cannot get Wharton, Belieber, or Anderson, then Gallagher becomes an even more attractive option. He might be the most realistic signing United can make in January. Romano said he will be following this situation closely, and so will we. Any developments, any changes in Atletico's position, any new negotiations, we will bring them to you immediately here on United Daily Updates. Final thoughts. This Conor Gallagher situation is one to keep a very close eye on. It has all the ingredients of a typical January transfer saga. A player who wants to leave. A club that needs reinforcements. A reasonable price. And negotiations that could go either way. Whether this deal happens or not will depend on how flexible both clubs are willing to be. Can United increase their offer? Can Atletico accept a loan? Can both sides find a compromise that works for everyone including the player? These are the questions that will be answered over the next few weeks. And we will be here to bring you every update as it happens. Make sure you are subscribed to United Daily Updates so you do not miss any breaking news. Hit that notification bell so you get alerts the moment we post new videos. What do you think about potentially signing Conor Gallagher? Would you be happy with this deal? Do you think £26 million is good value? Would you prefer a loan or a permanent transfer? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow United fans. The more people who subscribe and engage, the more content we can bring you. Until next time, keep believing, keep supporting, and remember, we are Manchester United. Come on, you Reds.